Hi, this is Nicole Taulman. I'm the director at Brooklyn Letters, and thank you for checking in with us. We, as you all are, having a big, huge time of transition and trying to get into all of this remote learning and remote speech and language therapy. And we just want you to know that we at Brooklyn Letters and all of our letters, Staten Island letters and Manhattan letters and Queens letters and Long Island letters, we're here for you. We have a lot of services that we can provide you. You just need to reach out to us and we can see what we can do for you. But today, which has been prompted by some of the replies and responses that we're getting from parents, I have one of our speech language therapists. Her name is also Nicole. Hello, Nicole.
Hello.
And she and I had a conversation earlier this week about some client responses that we're getting as far as how they're feeling about the idea of remote therapy. So this conversation is mostly about therapy, but it also applies to our tutoring and what learning specialists are also experiencing. So Nicole, start out, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do for us and what you do in your regular life, and just tell us about Nicole.
Great, thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me. My name is Nicole. I'm a speech therapist. I currently work in a school district here on Long Island, and I work with middle school age students. So really the transition for remote learning has been pretty interesting. Luckily, my students have been working with Google Classroom throughout the school year, so we've been able to implement those different types of learning now that they're home and transition it over. But it's been challenging, to say the least. And we're just trying to take it day by day, see if whatever I can do just to make them happy and to make them feel at ease during this really challenging time for everyone.
Right.
Just trying to make the best of it. And if I'm not teaching online, sitting in front of my computer, I'm trying to get outside and walk my dog. So,
right. And that's super important, is to get a little bit of fresh air, soak in a little vitamin D to try to stay healthy. So that's awesome. So one of the issues and difficulties, obviously, that we're having is that now parents are all of a sudden at home with their children pretty much 24/7, with the exception of, jumping out to get a little fresh air. Not only are they doing their own work at home, but now they are trying to help their children with their remote learning, just their regular classroom work. And a lot of our clients obviously have some speech language needs. Some are working with even some of our tutors for literacy help, even some math help, spelling. I mean, different things that before this COVID-19 situation began. All of our staff, we have a full clientele of children and adolescents that we're helping. And so now, all of a sudden, instead of our one-on-one in-person at-home therapy sessions and tutoring sessions, we also are having to do all of our business remotely. And so the response to that has been kind of twofold. We have a camp of families that are 100% on board right from the get-go, and so they're jumping right on into these remote platforms. And there have been some glitches, obviously, along the way, but they're adapting and things are going well. But we do have a lot of parents who are either on the fence about whether this would work for their child, or are just so completely overwhelmed with the whole situation that they're just not willing to go into a remote setting. But by doing that, we still have children with needs now who are not getting the services that they may need. So a couple of different responses are, I'm not good at technology. We're not a technology family, so I don't think this is going to work. And obviously, we're here to coach parents even with technology concerns, because quite honestly, I'm not real good with technology myself. And so it's been an adjustment for all of us, even some of our therapists and some of our tutors. Another reply that we get is, my son or daughter is really struggling with just his regular remote work with his classroom teacher that he's required to do now or she's required to do now. And so I just don't think that therapy or online tutoring is going to work for us. So what would you say to that, being a professional and knowing that students are having some struggles? What kind of services do you think you could provide, or what kind of tips do you think that you could give?
Well, I can definitely see the concerns of these parents, and this is a big adjustment, not just for the students, but for them as well. So I think in a situation like that, I really can, see their concerns. However, if they are having difficulties with their child not being able to participate in their group platform, maybe as a speech therapist, we could give them tips and tricks and different strategies for them to implement, so that they are able to translate that with just the one-to-one to then the group. So, just showing them how to sit with their child, how to, gently prompt them where they need it, kind of just as a coach for that time being. And it doesn't even have to be for a full amount of time, just, a quick little tidbit, so that this way they can get as much information from us as possible, during this difficult transition.
What about, do you have an opinion as far as the effectiveness of remote learning, um, or maybe the differences between doing it in a group type remote situation versus one-on-one? Is there situations where there is more success with one-on-one than there might be in a group type setting? And if so, why? Why do you think that is?
I would definitely say that you would see more success within the one-to-one rather than the group setting, just because of the distractibility and the attention. Where you're in a group, there's a lot of things going on. You're looking at one person, there's students in different screens. So there's a lot where, children really need to focus and hone in on one thing. And for some students, that's one of their biggest issues. So if it is one-to-one, we can at least focus on that with them and help them, and give parents different ways that can show them, all right, let's have the child look at this screen by just putting a simple post-it note on the screen. Or so I could definitely, see how the group setting would be a lot different than the one-to-one setting.
And do you think that after maybe a period of time of one-to-one coaching and one-to-one therapy, that might even translate into them being more successful in the group setting?
Yeah,
As
definitely.
okay.
Just like we do in therapy, the whole focus of therapy for any type of occupation is to generalize the skill. So if we're able to do that in the one-to-one setting, we're hoping that they can generalize what we're doing with them into a larger group.
Okay.
So the more that we can focus on that in the one-to-one, that would help for them to improve and progress for the group setting.
Great. And one of the things that we have asked of you, of our staff, is, obviously staff or new clients are available to, or they have the opportunity to talk to either myself as the director or Craig, who's our owner and CEO, and he's also a speech language therapist and learning specialist. Talk with us, reach out to us, talk to us for free. We have always, after an introduction to a therapist or a learning specialist, given a client an opportunity to talk with you for a few minutes, 15 minutes or so on the phone, as a free service, just to answer any initial questions they have and kind of finalize some scheduling and things. But we're also asking staff to consider giving even a free 30-minute session to show clients exactly what they can expect and the different things that can be useful maybe to the therapy session. Do you think that that is useful and something that's good for the client to be able to experience as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that would really go with anything, as if you were doing a trial at the gym to see if it's something that you'd be interested in. I think a trial in a situation like this, it's kind of walking in the unknown. So if you can give parents the opportunity to see what teletherapy is really all about, I think that would first, put their mind at ease a little bit, give them some comfort in knowing, okay, this is something that could work for my child, and then, take it from there.
Okay, great. Okay, well, I think you answered all of my questions. I was going to point out a couple of things. I'm putting my glasses on now. That's going to put a glare on the screen. But I just wanted to share with families primarily, but you can chime in if you have anything to comment. But if we do have parents who are struggling with the scheduling, how do we do our work? That we're needing to do, as well as help our students, our children with their schoolwork, as well as help them with their therapies, and fit all of these into a dynamic where we're all sitting together in one room and we're trying to do all of these things. And some of the things, and I'm reading off of this, so I'm looking off, but some of the things that we offer, we can help families to manage their settings, their schedule, help them, give them tips and tricks about how to manage distractions, how to institute, scheduling breaks, even help with troubleshooting, maybe with some of their technology they're using. You all have, a plethora of different technology that you use. Maybe parents have not used those before, that you can help them. Hey, this is how you use Zoom, or this is how you use Google Classroom. Some of those types of things. Coaching students with executive functioning skills. They've had teachers up to this point kind of saying you need to do this, 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 and this, and now they're getting a packet once a week. Turn this in next week or whatever, and being able to help them to manage their schedule and their schoolwork. That type of thing, supervising some of their work, helping them, doing some student check-ins. Are those all things that you're seeing now with this new way of working with students? Are all types of services that you can offer that are different than what we've been doing in the past with just these one-to-one services?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is an opportunity where I feel like I'm growing as a therapist as well. And I know a lot of other therapists feel the same. So the fact that we're, taking the opportunity to look at all of the materials that we can utilize and decide how we can kind of turn that into a therapy, tool for distant learning. I think that helps us to learn and helps us to grow. So why not, bring that forward to the parents and, direct them in the correct way for them to implement it with their students and their children.
Okay, good. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to close this out, but I just wanted to say to parents, obviously, we're all in this together, and we're all treading on some pretty new territory. We're very thankful to our staff for the hard work that they've put in, implementing these plans, transitioning their current clients into these remote ways of providing therapy and tutoring. Parents can reach out directly to us. Probably the easiest way really is just by email. If you email us at info@brooklinletters.com, and that is whether you live in Brooklyn proper, whether you live in Manhattan, Staten Island, Long Island, Queens. We can even assist some New Jersey clients as well as Westchester County. So we kind of go all over. Therapy is a little bit different, actual speech therapy, because we have to make sure and we're following the licensing requirements. Tutoring, we can pretty much tutor whoever needs our help. But info@brooklinletters.com, best way to get a hold of us, and we're here for you. And if you have any questions, reach out to us. So thanks, Nicole, for popping in, and it was good to see you.
You
All
too.
right, take care. Bye-bye.